let's get
Who
back
said
to
that?
the movie.
So yeah,
Let's
the
get into
opening
movie
credits.
breakdown.
The opening credits is Deadpool fighting the TVA because he was digging up Logan out of his grave from the last movie.
Yeah, and he did mess with time in the second one, which we haven't seen. But
Well, there's the context I was missing.
So he was messing with time a little bit. He did travel through time and change some timelines, and so I originally thought they were going to make that more.
The TVA weren't coming after him because of that.
No,
they were coming after him for something else.
Yeah, they said because he was a special person.
Yeah, he's special.
Person of interest.
But we learn later, spoilers for when we get there, that the other people who were in the void were also chosen because they were special.
Yeah, everybody's special.
Yeah. When everyone's super, nobody is.
Yeah.
That's from Incredibles.
Yeah. So basically he's looking for Logan.
And we don't know why yet.
Yeah. And then he is having a party all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And
he fights the TVA with Logan's dead body, and that's the opening credits. And it goes, it does the you're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. And so we get a back flash. Not the Black Flash, that's from Jujutsu Kaisen. A backflash to...
also, in the Flash TV series, Wally West is a Black Flash.
That's also true, yeah. Double entendre there for you nerds. So we see Deadpool, and he's just living his normal life, being Wade.
Yeah,
selling cars.
Yeah, one thing we learn about him in this movie is that apparently him and Vanessa have broken up.
Because he needs to find a higher purpose in himself.
Yeah, he kind of so he tried to get on the Avengers, and they rejected him. And apparently that kind of sent him into a spiral, and he just wasn't the same. And so Vanessa was like, "Peace out, homie.
Yeah,
we're just bros now."
Yeah.
And Wade was kind of like, "No, I don't like that."
So he doesn't want to be Deadpool, but he wants to find like self-purpose and importance in life.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way back to his lady love.
Yeah, and it's his birthday, and all of his friends are there, and he's like, "Wow, everyone I love is in this room.
We're so much love."
And then the TVA shows up and say, "Hey, bud, you're coming with us."
Yeah,
and he does.
They didn't. They didn't. Yeah, not by choice.
Yeah.
And then we find our main
antagonist.
Yeah, our main antagonist.
Mr. Paradox.
Yeah, is
his name. That's a real thing. If you've watched Loki, he's probably there. ? Okay, I'm getting the producer saying no. She said she could be wrong, but she might not.
From
be.
the Loki series?
From Loki, yeah.
No, he's not in Loki.
Okay, Mr. Paradox is not in Loki.
But they all have names like that.
But they have weird names.
Yeah, because in Loki, Mobius is one of the characters.
Okay. Like a Mobius strip.
Exactly.
Very cool. So Mr. Paradox is kind of a funky asshole.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, your timeline's dying, but you're here because you're special. And you're going to save all of the universes by destroying yours."
Yeah, we're going to destroy yours, and we're going to move you to a different one where you can actually be somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
an Avenger. Yeah. And we see, first weird cameo, I think, was Thor. It's a little scene.
It wasn't even actually Chris Hemsworth.
It wasn't.
Again, it was his brother.
That's really funny. because
it's
just a scene where Deadpool's like dying on the ground and Thor's crying over his body.
Yeah.
And he's caught up about it the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I did like that. That was very funny.
I forget which Thor movie it was, but his brother plays him as Thor in a play.
With
Matt Damon.
That's very fun.
Yeah. So that was I'm pretty sure that was that situation. If I remember correctly from watching it last night and then again this morning.
That's really
good.
That
it was not Chris Hemsworth.
That's really good.
It was his brother again.
So Deadpool doesn't want to kill his timeline. So instead
his timeline is dying because apparently Logan died.
Yeah.
Their Logan in their universe, which is the one from Logan the movie?
From Logan.
So because he died, the whole universe is dying.
Yeah.
That was a little flimsy, I think. The whole Anchor people.
I believe that's a very flimsy
Anchor
thing
person, because I was kind of like, does it
people
transfer?
Just die.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, if it's anchored, if your whole universe is anchored to one person, and that person dies, does it obviously doesn't re-anchor but who was the anchor before Logan? Because he's only 200 years old.
Right.
But anyways,
yeah.
We're not here.
I digress.
Yeah, we're not here to poke holes in the movie. We're here to just sing its praises.
Plot holes? What are
Who
those?
cares?
So Deadpool's like, yeah, I'll save the timeline. Click, and steals his little thing and goes and tries to dig up Logan's dead body.
Well, yeah, he thinks that if he can just get a Logan into his timeline, it'll save it.
Yeah. So he starts hunting for Logans, which is where we get the multiverse of madness-esque, other multiverse-esque, Rick and Morty-esque, going through portals and finding the different Logans to figure out which one fits the best.
A lot of classic Logans.
A lot of them, yeah, including Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Man, can I just say something to you guys? I dig it. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone went crazy for Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Henry Cavill's Wolverine, like,
I'd
be okay with that. Like,
there were a bunch of cool ones.
Perfectly, like,
there were a bunch of really cool ones that I can't remember, but you saw it.
No,
recently,
there was the yellow and brown suit when he there was that one he was fighting. I think that was the one that was fighting the Hulk.
Yeah,
the one where he temp pads in. That's a reference from Loki. Temp pad. And so
you just glossed over the fact that Wolverine was fighting Hulk at some point, which is a thing,
which we didn't.
I was told.
Yes,
which was an actual thing.
I wish we could have saw a little bit more of that fight, like in the middle of it, maybe. But
yeah, it's an epic fight. I've been told
it is. People want to see that, and so there was that. There was comic book correct height. Wolverine was the first one.
Funny, yeah.
He the first Wolverine he goes to is super short. He's like 5 something.
Like 5, yeah.
Because I think in the comics, what is he, 5'5", 5'6", or 5'4" or something?
He's 5 foot even.
He's very.
Simple as saying.
Yeah,
one of these days we're gonna get you another
it's in
screen
the
where you
lower
can fact check things.
Yeah, it's the lower. We'll be like the Joe Rogan podcast. We'll be like, so
Jamie, look that up.
Can you pull that up on the screen for us? Pull up comic book Wolverine height.
Can you show us Wolverine fighting a bear real quick? And it's just us watching it.
A Wolverine fighting a bear.
So he finds one, and it's apparently the worst Logan, one that just let all the X-Men die.
Oh yeah, he finally gets to the correct. Or the Logan
a
that
Logan,
we're with.
yeah, a Logan, a failed Logan.
He's very sad, very depressed, and very drunk.
5'3". Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, there we go.
Our resident fact checker over there. That's really funny. So Deadpool's like, "Hey, you're coming with me to save the universe." I think probably, and brings him back to the TVA, and it says, "Don't worry, I fixed my timeline. Here's Logan." And they're like, "Ha ha ha! That's really cute."
That's not how this works. Yeah, that's not how that works.
And
then
they get into a small fight or whatever.
Yeah, and then
I forgot. I skipped over Jarvis's favorite part before he goes out to find Logan.
Yes, thank you.
Deadpool gets a new suit and gets his butt slapped like 13 times and his crotch groped like 13 times.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
He was laughing so hard.
It was so funny. It's so funny because I never expect to see that much of any ass in a Marvel movie, and we saw Ryan Reynolds is like at least a dozen or 2 times.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And like half of those, more than half of those were in that one scene.
Yes.
So
I feel like
he's getting suited up.
I feel like 85% of all of the butts in the movie were that one scene. Yeah, and it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, because the random TVA guy's just suiting him up, putting his gloves on and his boots,
and slapping his ass.
Yeah, and then he grabs him in the crotch, slaps the booty, and he does that like. Well, I don't think it's like different times. I think they just.
I think it's the same one. Yeah,
they're just cutting
but it worked
again. It was so fun, dude. I laughed so hard. It was so funny.
Yeah. And he walked out and said, "That guy is definitely a sexual predator."
Yeah. That guy's definitely a predator, but great with the suit.
Yeah.
And then so because when he brings Wolverine in, he's kind of like knocked out.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and then they try to fight the guy. Paradox, and he hits him with the thing. Yeah. And then they
hits him with the thing.
Yeah, and then they disappear into the
void.
Yeah.
Paradox hits him with the little TVA stick, and they both end up in the void, where they start fighting
immediately.
The mutants,
I love it because
but they started fighting each other first.
Let's get started. Let's give the people what they came for.
They started fighting each other, which was cool. It was a cool scene.
Epically.
It always, and I know that the point is that it didn't feel like anything was going to end up with it because they can both regenerate. So they were just fighting to fight, which is kind of a cool dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
They're both just
That's
fighting.
why they're buddies.
Yeah. They get their anger out.
Yeah.
They both fully get their anger out, and then they're good. And then at some point, a voice from beyond, not beyond, he's just up in a tower, says something like, we'll never be able to beat them if we fight ourselves, or something like that. And at that moment, a resident Marvel expert over there was like, it's Chris Evans. And I was like, oh, it could be, I guess. It's Chris Evans.
Sure.
And Deadpool's like, oh, he's going to say the thing. He's going to say, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
Flame on!
Yeah, that was a nice
It's
little,
Johnny
that was
Storm.
a nice little fake out.
It was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four, which was a very fun callback, too.
Yeah. And we also saw what's his name from the X-Men movies?
Pyro.
Fire guy.
And
soaked up all of Johnny Storm's
Sabretooth.
Yes.
And Juggernaut.
Yes. But I was going to say Johnny Storm.
Toad.
Johnny Storm racked himself when he fell from the sky.
Which was also
hit his
funny.
head on the pylon or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And landed on his head very funnily.
Yeah, and that they got captured and were being taken to Cassandra, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about Cassandra. The other thing I can't remember the name of from Loki is also a problem.
Eliath.
Yeah. Some weird sky dragon demon thing.
Will actually delete you from any universe. Like you're just gone.
No. It's the it's okay. It's the
they're
recycle bin delete.
Yeah, they're in the recycle bin, but it's empty.
Okay.
Empty recycle bin.
So they get caught by Magneto's gang. Magneto's dead though, so he's not there. Which is confirmed.
So is Ant-Man because their base is literally in his body.
Yeah, Big Ant-Man is the base. And they're being taken to Cassandra Nova. Did you know about Cassandra before this?
I didn't know about Cassandra.
Really? Okay, cool.
Did.
Because Sybil and I did not. And Sybil was like, this person doesn't exist. And then we learned that she does exist.
She does exist.
And that that she makes a lot more sense in the movie than she does in the actual comics.
Yes. Yes, a lot more.
So, deep cut for the comic book nerds, Cassandra Nova is a secondary antagonist in the movie. And makes more sense than she does in the comics.
Yeah.
They just say, I'm Professor Xavier's sister.
Yeah, she's
that was
very
never
overpowered.
really born, but they don't go into it because it's weird and complicated and doesn't really make sense because none of it makes sense. Yeah. She's not a mutant; she's an alien, but also was going to be born a human, but also isn't born a human and also wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So Sybil wants me to bring up the fist. Okay, so Cassandra.
They have a fight. Yeah.
Cassandra Nova is the fraternal twin of Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
And when, sort of, yeah. Well, I'm not going to overcomplicate it, all right? And so when they were in the womb, Charles Xavier felt that his fraternal twin sister, not sister, alien sister presence was evil. Yeah. And so the fetuses had a fist fight.
So Cassandra was basically Cassandra was basically the elephant in the womb. If
Nice.
You will.
Nice. I'll allow this one. I'll allow that one. Which caused Cassandra, but not Xavier, to be miscarried, but also stillborn.
Yeah.
But also not born.
Yeah.
But
so
also not a human.
So yeah. So basically,
and then she got dumped into a sewer and stuck to the sewer wall and cellular regenerated herself a body.
Yeah, something like that.
This is the comic book version.
This is comic book. This didn't happen in the movie.
Yeah,
so don't expect to see that. Yeah. In the movie,
she's also bald.
Yeah, because
Professor X.
Like Charles
she's bald in the comics.
Yeah,
okay, well I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah, and
because they're siblings. If one doesn't have hair, the other one doesn't for sure. But also not siblings because Xavier was a human mutant and Cassandra's an alien? ?
Something like that.
Anyways, so she's basically Professor Xavier, but bad. That's all you need to know for this.
For the movie, she got deleted early as a child.
Yeah.
And she's been in the void ever since, just controlling stuff. and feeding people to the Alioth
Yeah.
every once in a while as like a tax to still stay alive.
So either they're food or slaves, and that's their options.
Yeah, and they work for. She's crazy powerful.
Yeah.
As we soon see, because when they arrive, Logan and Deadpool are tied up together. Chest to chest.
Not kissing, but they could.
Yeah, close enough to. And then Johnny Storm is separately tied up. And Deadpool starts throwing him under the bus.
Yeah, said, "Hey, Cassandra, he was talking a lot of shit on the way here."
You want to know exactly what he said, because I will tell you.
And just started saying some heinous things.
Yeah, and he was like,
I didn't say any of these.
I've never said anything like that ever in my life. Don't listen to him.
And Logan's like, "Wow, you're really throwing him under the bus, huh?"
Yeah, and so the first time we see her really use her powers, she just snatches all the skin off of
and he just
Johnny Storm's body.
falls to the ground.
Yeah, and then all of his organs fall out of his skeleton, and then the pile of bones. So she's pretty scary.
Rest in peace, Johnny.
Pretty scary lady.
I guess. So they get the ultimatum: you can either be slaves or you can be fed to the demon in the sky. And they go neither, and they launch themselves in a weird rocket boot up into the sky and out
like
into
Sentinel.
whatever.
I think it was like a Sentinel boot.
That makes sense.
I want to say
that makes
and
sense.
So he was hot wiring it and turned on the thrusters.
Yeah, and then they meet our first other Deadpool.
Nice
Pool.
What a weirdo.
Which is a weird name.
It
was just Ryan Reynolds with long hair.
Yeah,
that was technically the second one. What was the first?
Dogpool.
Oh, that's right. We met Dogpool first.
Yeah, and
which I learned is Britain's actually named ugliest dog in the world.
Oh wow, they got that one.
That's her. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Actual title, actual award that
that's
dog
their biggest get out of all the superstars for the movie.
Yeah, who else is accredited? You know?
Yeah. So
unlike as we learned, Greg is an unsanctioned, ununion actor.
Yeah.
Dogpool is
unionized. Wow, getting all those benefits.
SAG-AFTRA,
and there was some at least for me, very uncomfortable moments with him and the dog.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I watched some interviews. Like you went to go watch it twice. I watched a bunch of interviews and behind the scenes stuff. And
that was all legit.
That was all legit.
Yeah,
they put salmon paste into his mouth and had her lick it out.
Yeah, that's.
And Ryan Reynolds said, "Yeah, y'all, if y'all have never tried salmon paste, you're missing out because there's nothing better at 8 a.m. like warm salmon paste on a moist day, just in your lip,
and then just having a dog lick it out.
A dog lick it out with the longest tongue.
Yeah, he forms a strong emotional bond with the dog
immediately,
and then Nice Pool comes in, and then he forms a strong emotional bond to Nice Pool's gold-plated 50 caliber gun.
Yeah.
And he literally says, Deadpool's like, "Hey, can I have those?" And he's like, "Yeah,
no.
Over my dead body."
Yeah,
which foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Nice Pool is definitely a little bit off-putting to me.
I agree.
Anybody that nice,
except way later when he does his, "You think you're so cool? I can do it too."
Oh yeah. Well, I will jump to that because you brought it up. It's so funny because he's like, "Yeah, I can touch the fourth wall as well," and he just kind of looks in the camera and he said, "Oh, because he was making reference to other movies that Ryan Reynolds in." So Nice Pool gently touches the fourth wall and looks at the camera and says, "The Proposal," which is a movie that Ryan Reynolds did with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
It was
I did
good.
like that moment.
And then they go, "Hey, Nice Pool, how do we get out of here?" And he said, "Oh, it's over there. You can borrow my car."
Oh yeah, huge
So
bit about the
car.
minivan. Well, yeah, because when Deadpool's depressed and he doesn't know what to do with his life, and him and his lady love are broken up, he starts working with Peter at a car salesman.
Local legend Peter.
Yeah, so at the car salesman, he's a car salesman, and he's trying to sell a Kia Carnival, real vehicle, and he's basically shit talking.
Yeah,
Honda Odyssey.
he hates Honda Odysseys, but Nice Pool has a Honda Odyssey,
and they get in it. So that's a smaller.
So
bit.
Logan drives them, and then at some point, Deadpool says something about how they might be able to save Logan's world and bring everybody back.
Slip of the tongue. He says might.
Yeah, and we get another gag of the movie where Logan's like, if you can't guarantee that my world's going to be saved. What are we doing here? And he said, I did not lie to you. It was an educated wish.
And then that just, you see that he just goes, he just sees red
You are
after
the
that.
dumbest.
Oh, man. He lays into him.
He does. He lays into him
You
pretty
almost
hard.
feel bad. He's like, wow, dude, that was really mean what you did.
And then they start fighting in the car like my parents did before they divorced.
Yeah.
And then they pass out and drive off.
bro.
So, yeah. Well, they settled it in court, but, like all good divorces.
Just as bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casualties.
And then they're taken to the hideout. Not the heroes. Well, I guess the heroes hideout.
Yeah.
Shout out 8802 Marbuck Road, San Antonio, Texas 78227. Maybe be there, maybe be square. I don't know. And there we meet some of the dead IPs and a lot of the I think the hypest of the cameos.
Yes.
Where we got Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, Gambit.
Yeah.
Which I learned, cool thing about the movie. Do you know about why Channing Tatum got cast as Gambit?
Yes, because he was supposed to have his own Gambit movie when it was with Fox, and they never made it.
He was the fan cast.
Yeah, and he was actually...
And he was slated to do it.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I would watch that movie. Gambit is probably one of my favorite X-Men. Gambit and Nightcrawler, probably two of my favorite X-Men. Just so you know.
Sybil's very about that. Good taste for
X-Men. Dude, if you're... Gambit is the smoothest, coolest, I believe that's what, if you're a dude, you want to, exuberate that amount of, riz and coolness. That is Gambit. He just the way he talks is just, I mean, as a man,
Cajun.
Dude, I listen to him and I'm confused a little bit. I'm just kind of like, whoa, that guy is...
Yeah. Louisiana
that cartoon
pride.
character is hot.
Roll Tide, that's Alabama.
Yeah. So... But I digress. But yes, we've got Jennifer Garner as Elektra, reprising her role from the movie with Ben Affleck, the first big Daredevil movie. We have Blade, played by
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes. Swear I blank on at least something. And then Channing Tatum as Gambit. Very good job, all of them.
And they kept making other jokes about why other ones weren't showing up, like Daredevil, Magneto.
Yeah, because she actually, and Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck used to be married.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
So that was funny.
Yeah, so it was a fun little moment they had. They're all stuck there because they were also all told by the TVA that they're special and their timelines were dying or whatever.
Well, we forgot the last cameo. She comes out at the end. She's the one that...
Oh, yeah. Because I didn't see the movie.
Because you didn't see the movie. He didn't see Logan.
It's X-23.
Yeah, Laura Kinney.
Yes.
Is her character name.
She's great, actually.
I forget her real name in real life, but
she's great.
She's awesome. She was also in, I think, The Acolyte. She played a character in The Acolyte.
Well, good for her for getting the bag, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's awesome. She's the one who found them and drove them to the hideout, to the hero's hideout.
To the hero's hideout is what we're going to call that now.
Yeah.
Not sponsored. Could be. Hey.
Could be.
We could talk about it. What? What's up? Oh, and yes, and Sybil is very important. Her favorite Marvel character. They are in Scarlet Witch's tomb.
Yeah, there's that big,
which I don't think you should be
slab.
celebrating too hard because that just means that they're done with the character.
Maybe. I don't think so.
It means that they retconned the tomb.
Yeah,
that's a fair point.
Yeah, her stone likeness is on the ceiling.
Got it. So. Okay, so Deadpool recruits them all to go and get Cassandra to force them to go back to the TVA because Cassandra's that powerful.
Well, yeah, and Deadpool's doing his best to convince everybody, we can do this, we can form a team.
And Logan's over there going, "Yeah, you're all gonna die, and you're all stupid and losers."
Yeah, and he's like, "Man, come on, man, killing the vibes."
Yeah,
his exact words were, "Read the room, Logan."
Yeah, read the room.
There's a cute little moment with him and Laura Kinney.
Yeah, where she's like, "Hey, we really need you for this," and he's like, "I'm not a hero. I'm not the guy you think I am."
She's like, "You totally are. You're that guy."
Yeah, he said, "I'm not that guy, pal," and she said, "You're that guy.
You're that guy."
And he said,
"When you need to be, you're that guy."
Yeah. He said, I'm not the guy you think I am," and she said, "You never were, but you were when you needed to be."
Yep.
Or something close to that.
Yep. Nope.
Just really good. Really, really well done. And so he ends up going with them. Large drag out fight between these now dead IPs and other dead IPs.
Yeah, it was very good because their thing is, well, their first thing was we need Magneto's helmet because she is telepathic.
Yeah, but instead they go to
get she gets into their mind, and so
they get Juggernaut's helmet
like,
instead.
Nope. She took care of Magneto's helmet after he died. She killed him and then melted his helmet down. And they're like, well, what about the Juggernaut? And it's like, well, you're gonna have to take his head off for that one. And they're like, oh, that's okay.
So they do it pretty easily, actually.
I think Laura Kenny does it.
She
just jumps on his head and
she's nuts.
Just adamantium claws his head off.
And then,
there's some cool scenes. There's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot of cool fighting there.
Yeah, Gambit does some cool stuff. Mm-hmm. He throws some.
There's also one of my favorite bits was that you could never understand Gambit because his accent kept changing, and at one point Deadpool turns to him and goes, "Who's your accent coach?
Who's your dialect coach, bro?" Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Which is good. And then after that, anytime Gambit said something, he was like, "Yeah, whatever he said."
Yeah, what that guy said.
I don't know, but whatever it was good. And then during the fight, Logan, Deadpool, they go up to Cassandra's lair or area and are like, you have to take us home or else. And she said, you could kill me right now. I don't care. But if you take, there was a moment I'm skipping.
Yeah, she takes Deadpool out of the picture
for a moment.
Yeah, and then she focuses on Logan because she's like, well, we don't get many of these.
She's trying to convert Logan,
but that's where we get more of his backstory. What happened to him in his world? He was basically being a alcoholic, and
it wasn't that he didn't save his friends. It was that after his friends died and he wasn't there for them, he went on a killing rampage and just killed a bunch of actual. I think
people. It's all the above. He felt bad for not being there.
Yeah.
To fight with them and help protect them because he was being an alcoholic, and then also.
But his biggest regret is
he went in and killed everybody.
Yeah, solidifying that the mutants were bad.
I actually thought, and I'm actually kind of upset that they didn't. In the comics, there's a story where actually Wolverine kills the whole Marvel universe, but also there's another storyline where
he's not that powerful.
Well, there's another storyline where all the Marvel villains kind of have a little get together, and they're like, why do we keep fighting these people that beat us all the time? We're like, we should fight people that we would be good at. You know what I mean? Like, let's fight somebody that we can actually be good. So like a lot of the villains, so like Spider-Man's villains fight other people. So like Mysterio fights Wolverine, and he gets Wolverine to believe that he's fighting a bunch of bad guys, and he's literally just killing all the X-Men. And then when he comes out of Mysterio's illusion, he's just ripped to shreds because he killed all his friends. Oh. So I thought they were going to go that way, but they didn't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So
instead, Cassandra's trying to recruit him. Yeah. But joke's on her. They plan for this, and so Deadpool gets Juggernaut's helmet, puts it on Cassandra, and Cassandra goes, "No, you got me." And they give the ultimatum: you can either die or you can send us back. And she said, "You take this helmet off, and I kill you. So it's either you kill me or you die."
There was also Pyro. He had a deal with
Paradox. That one feels like it wasn't even really that relevant to the plot.
Well, I mean.
But yeah,
once they got the helmet on, Pyro showed up and put some bullets in her.
Yeah, which was stupid.
Yeah, so she was literally about to die until, and they were like, "Well, you can die."
Yeah, Pyro did walk in and was like, "I've been waiting for this," and then Logan knocked him out and goes, "Not everybody gets a monologue."
Yeah,
which was good.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, if we leave this helmet on, you die, or you give us what we want." Yeah, and she was like, "I'll just die then."
Yeah, and then. Biggest plot twist of Cassandra's character ever. The comic book Cassandra, the entire purpose for her existence is to go kill Xavier. Wolverine goes, "Man, your brother would have been so sad. I loved your brother so much, and he loved all of us. And if he knew that you were here, he would have ripped the world apart to get you back." And she went, "Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I'll send you all home."
She believed him. Because it was so
that's so out of character.
Yeah, that was definitely a weak point in the plot. I think that it was just kind of like because she was literally like, as soon as you pull this helmet off, I'm killing both of you.
And then they pulled the helmet off, and she was like, I took this ring from Doctor Strange. Y'all just hop in there.
Yeah, you saved my life, and I'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess she after that fact, she kind of learned about Paradox's plan with.
Yeah, so we jump straight into the third act, which is everything is absolutely just like happening right at that moment. Yeah. So they go back. Wolverine and Deadpool are gonna head over to the TVA, but then like 8 billion. Cassandra shows up first, and
Manhunt
because Pyro was like, yeah, I was working for Paradox. It was all a ruse to try to kill you.
I am the spy.
Yeah, I am the spy. And Cassandra's like, oh, so he's got this thing that can kill dimensions. I want that. And so she also walks through the portal and is like, hey, you guys aren't going anywhere anymore, and I'm also going to go take this big, massive machine that's supposed to destroy things for myself.
Yeah.
And then they go, we got to stop Cassandra.
A time ripper, they called it.
A time ripper, yeah. And we got to stop Cassandra. And then like 8 million Deadpools hop out of a portal at the same time.
Including Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Blake Lively Pool.
Lady Deadpool. Head Pool, which I mentioned earlier.
Baby Pool.
Speaking of head, and you thought I was...
Sorry, huh?
Your mind went to a dirty place, and I went to a real place from the movie.
Oh, okay.
But your mindset is in line with the Deadpool movie.
Yeah. I had to get into character.
Yeah.
So like all the different Deadpools, including Nice Pool was there, and Dog Pool,
Baby Pool, Kid Pool, yeah,
any Deadpool that you could think of. There were a lot of cameos, I was told, in that Pool. Specific part. Yeah. There was actually I saw it. I don't know if either of you caught it. Grand Wizard Deadpool. Oh. Which was really cool. Big, long red robes and a wizard hat and a staff.
Hard to miss him.
I didn't know who he was. But I didn't either, but I was like, it's a wizard. That's pretty cool. That was my favorite for sure. Yeah. And they're all hostile for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think they work for Cassandra, I think. And
so Deadpool does a funny thing where he goes, don't worry, everybody. Deadpool Prime here. Marvel Jesus. I will save all of us.
Yeah.
And they just there's this big long fight between all of them.
Yeah, they're like, no.
Nice Pool dies.
They're like, kill him.
Yeah.
And and so Lady Pool starts shooting her Uzis, and then he picks up Nice Pool and use him as a bullet sponge.
Yeah.
It's a bullet sponge. And
Logan's like, what are you doing? He goes, it's fine. He can regenerate. And he goes, what's regenerating?
What do you mean regenerate?
Oh, well, you're going to make it, buddy. You're going to make it. And just make sure he gets like 8,000 bullets.
Yeah, more. And then
he was
really wanted that dog and those guns. I think it was.
I think it was both.
Yeah, that Nice.
He had a lot to gain.
Yeah, he had two things that Deadpool didn't have that he wanted.
Yeah,
our Deadpool.
So now he got Dog Pool and the golden
at the cost
guns.
at the small price of Nice Pool's life.
Yeah.
So head exploded and everything.
Yeah.
Very graphic. So we have our movie, by the way.
So we have a really long fight with all the Deadpools, and it's like, yeah, he killed them all. They can all regenerate except for Nice Pool.
And who saves the day? The actual hero.
Yeah, the actual hero of the day
of the movie. I would say
Peter shows up, and all the Deadpools are like, Peter
Pool,
which was a really funny
or
really
PP
fun
for
moment.
short.
Yeah, and so our universe Deadpool was like, hey guys, have fun with my Peter, and just ran off.
Yeah.
Good line.
Yep.
Great line. And then they go to try to stop Cassandra, but Cassandra's already fusing herself with the time ripper.
She's starting to believe. No, I'm just kidding. She is harnessing the power, I would say.
Yeah, and Mr. Paradox is like, where have you two been? You were supposed to come and try to stop me hours ago. Cassandra's already almost taken over the whole thing. And they go, well, what do we do?
We didn't talk about her actual motivation, because they're hey, he's got this thing that destroys timelines and stuff, and like, we'll help you destroy it. And she's like, no, destroy it. I want to use it so that the only timeline that matters is the one that I control. So that
she can control the only universe that exists.
The Void, which is where she lives, which is her home.
Yeah, which I guess it's an okay home motivation. Is what you make it. Yeah. Make this crack house into a crack home.
Yeah.
Is what Cassandra was doing.
I mean, we saw a lot of Deadpool's crack in this movie.
A lot of crack. And so they're like, well, how do we stop it? And Mr. Paradox is like, you can't. There's antimatter and matter all fusing up from a big old funnel from underground. And you need to be able to like combine the two into a full circuit.
Yeah, you have to combine them together before it gets up to where she is.
Yeah.
Basically.
And doing that would destroy one of the two of you.
Yeah. Only one of you can do it, and if you do it, you will die.
Yeah. And so Logan has a moment where he's like, "Hey man, I know that I wasn't originally a part of this. My universe is fucked, but you have friends to go back to, so I'll take one for the team." And Deadpool's like, "Oh, that's really nice,
bro."
I'm saving the day, loser. You go tell my friends that I died like a hero.
Yeah.
That tries to do it himself.
It's like whatever you want, Deadpool just is going to do it because he knows that you want it.
Yeah, he's the chaotic good.
He's that guy.
In that moment.
Yeah. So he goes in.
There. Logan's trying to break the door down so that he can.
Which he's doing a pretty good job, man. He's putting some huge damage to that door.
And then they both hold hands, kind of, and complete the circuit together.
Yeah, it kind of like it was given Guardians of the Galaxy 1 vibes.
Yeah, it was
when they all grabbed the Infinity Stone,
which was a great moment that I actually really liked.
Yeah.
And so that they get vaporized.
I think it made more sense in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I agree.
But,
it was building up the entire movie. So. And so they saved it. Cassandra got destroyed by the machine.
We forget the part where all this power blows Logan's shirt off.
Yeah, all the power blows Logan's shirt off.
So Hugh Jackman is now shirtless.
Yeah.
And it's a running bit that everybody's just enamored by how hot he is.
Yeah.
And even Deadpool, there's a moment where they zoom in on his abs and he's just kind of looking at his abs like.
Yeah. While they're holding hands.
While they're being matter and antimatter.
And so the dust settles, everything's fine. Mr. Paradox is being interrogated by his boss, and he's like, "We would have all been destroyed if it weren't for these two heroes that are definitely dead. My two friends, I'd say, that saved our lives on this day." And they both walk up and they're like, "We're not dead."
And then he's just like, totally real loud, like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Yeah.
F word.
Yeah. The okay one, not the not okay one.
Yeah. And then they, there's more staring at.
And then they have a Bollywood dance number at the end of it, and they all have a good time. There isn't a Bollywood dance number, but
no, but it wouldn't have been out of place for them to have one.
It would not have.
It would have fit right in.
Afterwards, they go and get shawarma because that's what Avengers would do.
Yeah, the joke was like, "Did you know the Avengers invented shawarma?"
Yeah, which was discovered shawarma.
The first ones to discover shawarma.
Yeah, which was kind of funny. And so
more
Logan,
dog pull licking.
Yeah.
Wade's face.
Yeah, and then Logan goes away forever, and then Deadpool stops him, and it's like, "Wait. You should come meet my friends," and then they hang out and they have a good time.
Oh, there was a little line too that I also thought was just a little hand wavy. Mm-hmm. Main TVA lady, I forget her name.
I don't remember.
They were like,
I can find it while you talk.
Can you fix Logan's timeline?
Oh yeah, and
she was just like, everything that happened in his timeline made him the hero he is today. So there's nothing to fix. And they were like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they just went to.
They really did just okay.
Sounds good. And then they ate shawarma, and then they went to Wade's for another party get together.
Yeah, and they lived happily ever after the end.
Yeah, and then Vanessa was very impressed with Deadpool again, and they held hands, and Wade blushed.
Yeah, and then we got a post-credit scene, which is the craziest plot twist of the whole movie.
Oh, dude, this is worth the wait.
Yeah.
Worth the wait.
And we're gonna spoil it. We're gonna spoil it here. Yeah, you heard it here first.
We said it at the beginning. Yeah, we're going to.
When Deadpool was throwing Johnny Storm under the bus, where you believe he was making up all of this
just like
heinous stuff.
Yeah.
They go back to the TVA and he rewinds the cameras and shows Johnny Storm actually saying all of those heinous things about Cassandra.
Yeah, but of course he was egging him on. He's like, "Oh, tell me more."
Yeah.
He would just
keep going. And it was very funny.
Yeah, that was a very good end credit scene. I like.
So that's Deadpool Wolverine. Hey, you.
How'd you like that episode? Did you like it?
You like movies? You like this one?
Do you?
You should subscribe to this channel right now.
Also, as well.
Yeah. You got friends? Yeah, you do.
Do you? Hopefully.
Show it to them. Show this to them.
Prove it to us you got friends.
There's other videos to watch too. Why don't you watch those if you're so cool?
Yeah, prove you're not a bot. Leave a comment.
Nerd.